But let's talk about India's role in Sri Lanka's economic crisis.
India helped us, certainly, with the money they gave us. No two questions about it. Especially Mrs. Sitaraman was very, very helpful to us. Prime Minister was open, and Mr. Jaishankar was also focused on it.
You've been in leadership roles since the 1990s, and the India-Sri Lanka relationship has had its tough moments and good times. Do you think that the relationship is better now than it was some decades ago?
From 77, I've been in politics.
Right.
I first dealt with the government of Morarji Desai and Mr. Vajpayee. We got on very well. I had got to know Mr. Vajpayee in 1974, before he became a guest of the Indian government for some time. We got on. Then under Mrs. Gandhi it was more strained. But I must say Rajiv resolved the issues, and from there onwards we had really a good relationship with the country, especially with Mr. Narasingha Rao. He and I were contemporaries in the education ministry, so I knew him well. And even after when he retired, I used to speak to him and get his advice on politics. Then we had Mr. Gujral, who again we knew, and Mr. Vajpayee and Manmohan Singh.
And what sort of equation do you share with the current Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi?
I have known him for a long time. When he was originally a chief minister, I know Mr. Modi from that time onwards. Once I went to Gujarat when he was chief minister as the leader of the opposition, and I was able to be there. So I've known him well, like the other prime ministers.
You met him in July this year. What was the conversation like?
Basically, Indo-Sri Lanka relations and how we go ahead after the crisis. So we had this vision statement, which I think is a step forward. So I'm surprised everyone is asking about the Chinese ship, instead of asking when are we going to develop Trincomalee together, what are the connectivity in power, connectivity, the land connectivity, shipping connectivity. None of those is questioned. It's only one.
I was going to come to that, so you might as well.
Only one Chinese ship which comes for 2 weeks.
Maybe it is an important subject, but yes, about the connectivity, what were the big takeaways from that meeting?
No, we decided to go into close economic relations, Indian investments in Sri Lanka, further trade liberalization. But more than that, I mean, it basically means Indians will come into Sri Lanka, they can invest here, their tourists will come in here. Indians investing here in the South Port, West Terminal. We are looking at a fair amount of investments on renewable energy and the development of the Trinco port. We'd like to develop it. Then tourism. So we've had a fair, I think the plate is full if you look at the state.
You attended the inauguration ceremony of Mohammad Muizzu, the new president of the Maldives.
Yes.
And on the very same day, he asked India to withdraw troops from his country. What do you make of his India Out campaign?
No, the Indian troops leaving Maldives was a part of the manifesto of the present president. So, as usual, I presume when he made his first speech, he said he was going to fulfill his, I was listening to it, fulfill his requirement of promise to get foreign troops out of Maldives. I was not surprised that he said that, but that had been one of the main items on his campaign. I have not discussed that with him. This is my assessment.
Do you think this is the right policy decision?
Well, for them it is something on which he got elected. I didn't get elected on that.
No, I understand, but
So,
you're a veteran of strategic choices. You've seen South Asian politics.
Yeah, but they made the choice. But looking at the other way, I think India should not get too worried about it. I would say that you should focus more on strengthening our relationships with Maldives. That is the only view I have. India should not, because of this incident, abandon Maldives. The Maldives needs their help, and that's what I understood from the discussions I had with the president, that he needs the help of India.
He said that to you, that he needs the help of India?
He said he needs the help of India.
But you did not advise him on this India Out policy?
No, I mean, he announced it before I met him.
What would you have told him otherwise?
I would have told him, do it slowly. He might still do it slowly. I mean, the fact that he is not going to get it and do it after discussion.